Have you ever been in the middle of a worship set and you stop and realize that your song is going crazy fast and there's nothing you can do about it? I've been there many times myself, and I think we finally found the solution for our team, and you're probably not going to like it. Welcome to Blazing Guitars. So I would have been in high school the first time I got introduced to the idea of playing with a click track. And initially I was super confused at the idea. Is it a metronome? Is it something else? What is this magical click track? Eventually I figured out that it's just a metronome played through people's monitors, and that was what the drummer would use to keep time. So came back from that conference and pitched the idea to our drummer. I think the band leader at the time pitched the idea, and our drummer was not a fan of it. Fast forward a couple of years, we tried a couple different times. We'd get a metronome all plugged in, ready to go, and it would just be the drummer or the piano, and we would go through half a practice and then eventually give up in frustration because just nobody was sticking with it, and the drummer couldn't communicate well on what was going on, and so it was just this problematic thing that we could never quite nail down. Fast forward to this past year, and I realized how we could get this done. So what we ended up doing was we ended up kind of rehauling our system and getting everybody onto in-ear monitors. And when I was in high school, I remember just thinking that in-ear monitors was something that was so unattainable and that it would not be doable at all. And what we found out through this process is there's actually really, really cost-effective ways to do in-ear monitors. And I'm going to show you those today. And so what we did was we got everybody on an in-ear monitor and then put the click track through to everyone. So the singers, the guitar players, the bassists, the piano, the drums, we all have the click track in. And what we found is that as a team, we're starting to play cohesively together. And so it's no longer just the drummer trying to steer the ship, but everybody's engaged in this idea of the click track. So here's how we're pulling this off. So as I said, we got in-ear monitors, and I've done a review on the Galaxy Audio AS900. Our church ended up getting some stuff, so this is my personal one. I think it runs about $200 if you're looking for one for yourself. But what we ended up getting was a couple of these. So these are the X5U4 packs. And so these, you can see there's just an XLR, so this is the transmitter. You just plug this into the board. It comes with a 1/4-inch adapter as well if you need that. And then this receives it, and you have 6 channels. And I think they sell a couple different versions of these, and I think the one pack is like $230, $240. But what's really nice about these is that if you have interference, you can easily go to another channel, and you can even run multiple people off of this unit. So these are a lot more kind of modular and adaptable than my Galaxy Audio AS900. And then what we found out is that you can actually, there's another solution called the Behringer P2s, and I think there's a P1. These are wired in your monitors, whereas like these would be wireless. These can take just a 1/4-inch or an XLR, and you're good to go. You just plug in headphones to these. The P2s are $40, $50, and they are mono. So if you get this, then only one headphone's gonna work. But we figured out you could get this little mono to stereo adapter. Just leave this plugged in all the time, and you got a full working stereo set. So they do sell a stereo version, but we found this is just a lot cheaper, and you can plug this in. It's a little bulky, but we're just using it for pianos and drums. So our drummer's wired and just has this on his belt pack, and then we just have this attached to the piano stand. Then what we did is we just bought everybody a pair of these really cheap KZ personal monitors. So I think these run at $20. So all this stuff will be linked below if you're interested, and this is how we've been doing it. Okay, and then let's just talk about the metronome. So we actually use an app called the Tempo app by Frozen Ape. This Tempo app has set lists, and you can do presets and all that. It just has its own channel, and then we just put this through, have it muted in the mains, and running it through everybody's monitors. So to start working with the metronome, one of the things that we would do is we would do practices with the metronome and then not use the metronome during service. And pretty quickly we felt like we could actually pull it off in service. And so we've done that a couple times. We've been doing the whole thing for about 2 months, and I'd say overall it's been a really positive experience. It's starting to get to the spot where we're not even noticing the metronome, though last night we had kind of an issue with the metronome. So there's still a little bit of a learning curve, but overall it's been a pretty painless experience. I think when you say metronome, a lot of musicians kind of cringe, and it's, even though it's fundamentals, everybody should practice with it. We just don't like to do that. And so this has actually been a pretty painless process. I think everybody on band's been on board, and I've checked in a couple times just as we've introduced it. This hasn't been a forced thing. And I think one of the things that's really helpful too is if we start to get off the metronome on a Sunday, the drummer can just reach over and turn it off. And that gives him some freedom and some flexibility as well. It's not this thing that's just driving him to insanity, but it's something that he can control. And overall, it's been really helpful for us. And as a bonus, it's starting to open up things like being able to play with loops and being able to play with different ideas, and recording a drum part and having that over everything as we play. So we're really excited about the potential, and once we kind of figured out how to get the in-ear monitor system working fairly cheaply, then it was just all downhill from there. So if you're wanting to try it, I would suggest definitely getting everybody on in-ears. It's even if you just got 6 of these, it's not ideal to have an XLR running down your pant leg, but it's doable. So, and I think that the benefits are far outweigh the cost when it comes to this. So that's what I got for you today. If you have any questions about any of that or would like me to explain further, leave a comment below and I'll be happy to engage with that. And as always, thank you for watching, and we will be here next week.